What if I told you that everything you've ever felt in your life, every sadness, every frustration, could be completely avoided? That feeling unhappy is not something that's inevitable, but something that you can control. Imagine waking up each day, facing challenges without stress, and embracing every moment with peace and clarity. Is that even possible today? We'll dive into how you can make this your reality using the timeless wisdom of Marcus Aurelius and Stoicism. Welcome back, friends. If you've ever struggled with feelings, stuck in your emotions, overwhelmed by life's challenges, or just couldn't shake off that nagging sense of dissatisfaction, you're not alone. But what if I told you that ancient philosophy has powerful tools that can help you take control of your happiness? This isn't some fluffy self-help advice. This is based on deep, profound principles from Stoicism taught by one of the greatest minds in history. Marcus Aurelius, in today's video, will be exploring how you can apply Stoic philosophy to your everyday life to not just overcome sadness, but to lead a life of constant contentment and inner peace. So, if you're ready to change your outlook and free yourself from negativity, keep watching Section 1, Understanding Control. The first principle of Stoicism that Marcus Aurelius teaches us is the idea of control. According to Stoic thought, there are things we can control and things we cannot. The key to happiness lies in focusing only on what's within your control and letting go of everything else. For example, you can control your reactions, your mindset, and your choices, but you can't control other people's actions, the weather, or the past. Marcus Aurelius puts it simply in his meditations. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Let's look at a real-world example. Imagine you're stuck in traffic on your way to an important meeting. You can't control the traffic, but you can control how you react to it. You can either get frustrated, angry, and stressed, or you can choose to stay calm, use the time to listen to a podcast, or even practice some deep breathing. Your happiness doesn't depend on external circumstances, but rather on how you choose to view and respond to them. Section 2. The importance of acceptance. The second key concept from Marcus Aurelius is acceptance. Stoicism teaches us to accept things as they are not, as we wish they were. This doesn't mean passively letting things happen, but rather recognizing that some things are beyond our control and instead focusing on what we can do about them. For instance, Marcus Aurelius says the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Let me explain. Every obstacle you face can become a tool for growth. If you accept a situation for what it is, you free yourself from resentment or disappointment. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" you can ask, "What can I learn from this? How can this help me grow?" Let's use the example of a difficult relationship at work. Instead of constantly feeling upset or frustrated by the situation, ask yourself, how can I respond with patience and understanding? How can I change my perspective to grow from this challenge? Acceptance doesn't mean resignation. It means seeing life for what it is and taking it in stride. Section 3, the power of perspective. The third concept Marcus Aurelius teaches us is the transformative power of perspective. How we view the world around us shapes how we experience it. Our thoughts create our reality, and by changing our perspective, we can drastically improve our emotional state. Marcus Aurelius states, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." This is a reminder that our thoughts are the filters through which we interpret the world. If we focus on negativity or problems, we'll always find more of it. But if we shift our perspective to gratitude, opportunity, and learning, even the most challenging situations can become sources of growth. Imagine a challenging situation in your life. Maybe it's a failure or setback. Instead of seeing it as a dead-end shift, your mindset to view it as a stepping stone. Instead of asking why, try asking what can I learn from this experience. Section 4. Further analysis or contrasting opinions. Now, some people might argue that accepting things and shifting your perspective sounds great, but what about real emotions? Don't we need to feel sadness, frustration, or anger to be human? That's a valid point. Stoicism isn't about repressing emotions. It's about managing them in a healthy way, instead of letting your emotions control you. Stoicism empowers you to control how you respond to them. It's about creating emotional resilience. You can feel sadness or frustration, but you don't have to let those feelings define your entire experience. Instead, use them as cues to realign your thoughts and actions. For example, if you're feeling overwhelmed, use that emotion as a signal to slow down, reflect, and gain clarity. It's not about ignoring feelings. It's about not letting them hijack your happiness section. 5. Embracing impermanence. One of the most fundamental ideas in Stoic philosophy, and one that Marcus Aurelius often reminds himself, is the impermanence of all things. Everything in life, whether good or bad, is temporary. Marcus Aurelius writes, "The universe is change, life is opinion." The beauty of this thought is that it reminds us that nothing lasts forever, and so nothing is as bad or as permanent as it seems. In the moment, pain, difficulty, or negative emotions may feel overwhelming now, but they will pass. Think about a time in your life when you were going through a tough situation at the time. It may have seemed like the end of the world, but now, looking back, you realize that it was a temporary phase. What you felt wasn't permanent, and the situation changed. By embracing the fact that everything is transient, we can gain a sense of relief. Understanding that even difficult emotions, bad experiences, or moments of stress won't last forever gives us the freedom to move forward with more grace. It allows us to let go of clinging to feelings or situations that are only temporary. So when you're feeling sad, stressed, or overwhelmed, remind yourself that these feelings, just like everything else, are fleeting. The same way a storm passes over the horizon, so too will your difficult emotions pass. This perspective can help you remain peaceful and composed, even in times of hardship. Section 6. The practice of mindfulness. Mindfulness is a concept that is very much in line with Stoic philosophy, even though it's often seen as a modern practice. Marcus Aurelius practiced mindfulness before it became a widespread term. He frequently reminded himself to stay present, to focus on what's in front of him, and to not let his mind wander to things beyond his control. In his meditations, Marcus writes, "Do every act of your life as though it were the very last act of your life." This is a call to mindfulness. When we focus on the present moment and live intentionally, we free ourselves from the burden of unnecessary worry about the past or future. Take a moment to think about your day. How often do you get caught up in thinking about things that haven't happened yet, or ruminating on things that have already passed? Stoicism encourages us to practice mindfulness, to stay engaged with what we're doing, to focus on the task at hand, and to live in the present. This doesn't mean ignoring the past or future. It's about shifting the focus to the now, where we have the most control. By being mindful, we can respond to life's challenges with more clarity and calmness instead of being overwhelmed by distractions, whether it's a conversation, a work task, or simply taking a walk. Practice mindfulness, give your full attention to the moment, and notice how much more peaceful and centered you feel as a result. Section 7. Living according to nature. Another essential principle of Stoicism is the idea of living according to nature. What does this mean? It's about understanding and aligning ourselves with the natural order of the universe. It's recognizing that there are things we can control and things we cannot, and learning to accept and adapt accordingly. Marcus Aurelius said, "Nature does not make mistakes. Everything in the universe has a purpose and order. So when we live in harmony with nature, we embrace the flow of life rather than trying to force it in a direction we want. In practical terms, this can mean accepting the seasons of life, the ups and downs, the joys and challenges, just as nature has. It cycles, so does human life. If we can learn to embrace the natural rhythms of life, we stop fighting against the inevitable and instead find peace in what is. Take, for example, the cycle of a tree. It grows, it blooms, it sheds leaves, and it eventually dies. Each stage is necessary for the next. The same goes for us. We must accept life's changes, including the tough times, because they are all part of the natural order that brings growth. Living according to nature means embracing our inherent human nature, accepting our limitations, and focusing on what we can control while being at peace with what we cannot. Section 8. Cultivating Inner Strength. One of the most significant teachings from Marcus Aurelius is the concept of cultivating inner strength. Stoicism is a philosophy not just of thought, but of action. Marcus believed that the key to happiness and fulfillment lies in developing our character, maintaining our self-discipline, and controlling our impulses. Marcus Aurelius famously said, "You have to build your life with the stones that are thrown at you." This means that every challenge, obstacle, or difficulty you face is an opportunity to grow stronger. Life's trials are not here to break you, but to shape you into someone with a stronger, more resilient character. Consider the analogy of a muscle. It grows, stronger by being challenged. The same applies to our mental and emotional resilience. When you face a challenge, instead of seeing it as something that defeats you, see it as something that builds your strength. Think of a difficult situation in your life, whether it's a personal setback, a professional obstacle, or a moment of doubt. How can you face this with strength? Can you rise above it and become stronger, wiser, and more capable? As a result, by developing inner strength, we stop relying on external circumstances for happiness and instead begin to find contentment within ourselves. This is true power, not being able to control everything around you, but being able to control yourself in any given situation. Section 9. The Role of Virtue for Stoics. Virtue is the high est good. Marcus Aurelius believed that living a virtuous life was essential for true happiness and contentment. Virtue in Stoic terms is defined as living in accordance with wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Marcus Aurelius writes, "The only wealth which you will keep forever is the wealth you have given away." This idea reflects the Stoic view that it is not external wealth or material success that defines a happy life, but the cultivation of virtuous character. Let's break down the 4 Stoic virtues. Wisdom, the ability to think and act according to reason. Courage, the strength to face challenges. Justice, acting in fairness and integrity, and temperance, exercising self-control. These virtues are the foundation for a life of fulfillment, and practicing them leads to inner peace. Consider how you can apply these virtues in your everyday life when faced with a difficult decision. Ask yourself, what is the wise choice? What is the courageous choice? What is the just and fair action? How can I exercise temperance and balance in this situation? Living according to virtue doesn't guarantee that life will be free from hardship, but it does mean that no matter what happens, you will have the strength and wisdom to handle it with dignity and peace of mind. So what have we learned today to never be sad and unhappy again? We need to understand the power of control, the importance of acceptance, and the incredible fluence of our perspective by focusing only on what we can control, accepting life as it is, and shifting our thoughts to see challenges as opportunities. We can create a life filled with peace, contentment, and emotional freedom. I hope you found this video helpful and that these Stoic principles will help you lead a more intentional and happy life. Now, I want to hear from you. What's one thing you're going to start focusing on or accepting? Today, leave a comment below and let's keep the conversation going. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who could benefit from these powerful lessons. And as always, remember, the key to happiness is already within you. As we wrap up, remember that happiness isn't a destination, it's a way of life. By practicing Stoicism, you can embrace every moment with clarity, purpose, and peace. Keep striving to control what you can accept, what you can't, and shift your perspective whenever necessary. Thanks for watching, and until next time, live with wisdom and inner peace. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more philosophical wisdom and practical advice on living a happier, more fulfilled life.